Society tells you that romance ends at 60, but here's the uncomfortable truth nobody talks about. Thousands of seniors are secretly struggling with loneliness, believing their chance for genuine connection has passed. You've spent decades caring for others, building careers, raising families. Now you're finally free, but the dating world feels foreign and intimidating. Maybe you've lost a spouse, gone through a late divorce, or simply never found the right person. The fear is real. Am I too old for this? Will anyone find me attractive? Is it even appropriate at my age? But what if everything you've been told about love after 60 is completely wrong? Here's exactly what you're about to discover. First, I'll reveal the 3 psychological shifts that separate seniors who find fulfilling relationships from those who stay stuck in loneliness. Second, you'll learn the 5 unexpected places where compatible partners are actually meeting right now, and none of them involve awkward bar scenes. Third, I'll share 2 proven conversation starters that naturally build attraction without feeling forced or desperate. Fourth, we'll explore the honest truth about physical intimacy at this age, including what actually matters to potential partners and what doesn't. Fifth, you'll get a simple framework for handling those difficult conversations with your adult children who might resist your new relationship. And finally, I'm saving the most powerful insight for last. The one mindset shift that transforms how others perceive your desirability, regardless of your age or appearance. This changes everything. Guide 1. Understanding your emotional readiness. Before you download a single dating app or accept that dinner invitation, you need to answer one critical question. Are you truly ready, or are you just lonely? There's a massive difference, and getting this wrong leads to failed connections and deeper heartbreak. Emotional readiness isn't about having all your problems solved or being completely healed from past wounds. It's about knowing yourself well enough to recognize what you're actually seeking. Many seniors jump into dating because they can't stand eating dinner alone anymore, or because their friends are all coupled up. That's not readiness. That's desperation wearing a disguise. Here's how to assess where you really stand. First, can you spend a weekend completely alone without feeling miserable? If solitude terrifies you, you're not looking for a partner. You're looking for a distraction from yourself. Healthy relationships require 2 complete people choosing to share their lives, not 2 half people trying to become whole. Second, have you genuinely processed your past? If you're widowed, have you allowed yourself to grieve fully, or are you trying to replace what you lost? If you're divorced, have you taken responsibility for your part in what went wrong, or are you still blaming your ex for everything? Unprocessed baggage doesn't disappear when someone new shows interest. It resurfaces at the worst possible moments. Third, what are your actual expectations? Write them down honestly. Are you seeking companionship, passion, financial security, or someone to take care of you? None of these desires are wrong, but being dishonest about them sets everyone up for disappointment. A 68-year-old man named Carl spent 2 years dating unsuccessfully until he admitted he wasn't looking for romance at all. He wanted a travel companion. Once he got clear on this, he found exactly what he needed. The readiness assessment also includes examining your independence. Can you handle your own finances, maintain your own home, manage your own health? Partners should enhance your life, not complete it. If you need someone to function, you're not ready for a relationship. You need support systems first. Guide 2. Where modern seniors are meeting partners. Forget everything you think you know about where seniors meet. The most successful connections aren't happening where you'd expect. The biggest myth: that online dating is only for tech-savvy millennials. Reality check. The fastest growing demographic on dating platforms is 60-plus adults, and they're seeing remarkable success rates. Sites like Our Time and Silver Singles are specifically designed for your age group, with larger fonts, simpler navigation, and members who share your life stage. A 64-year-old woman named Diane met her current partner after just 3 weeks on Our Time. Her secret: she treated her profile like a job application, specific, honest, and showcasing her actual personality instead of generic phrases. But here's where it gets interesting. The most unexpected success stories are happening at volunteer organizations. Food banks, animal shelters, and community gardens attract people with generous hearts who value contribution over consumption. You're working side by side toward common goals, which naturally reveals character and compatibility. Unlike a coffee date where everyone's performing, volunteering shows you who someone really is when they think nobody's watching. Fitness classes designed for seniors are goldmines for connection. Water aerobics, chair yoga, and walking groups create regular touchpoints without the pressure of formal dates. You're seeing the same faces weekly, building familiarity and trust organically. A 67-year-old retired teacher met her partner at a senior hiking group. They spent 6 months as hiking buddies before either realized they were falling for each other. Religious and spiritual communities remain powerful connection points, but with a twist. Don't just attend services. Join the committees, volunteer for events, participate in study groups. Passive attendance rarely leads to meaningful connections. Active involvement does. The key across all these venues: consistency. Show up regularly to the same places. Familiarity breeds comfort, and comfort opens doors to vulnerability. One-time events rarely result in lasting connections. Repeated exposure in low-pressure environments does. Guide 3. Rebuilding confidence in your attractiveness. Let's address the elephant in the room. You look in the mirror and see wrinkles, age spots, gray hair, and a body that doesn't move like it used to. You're convinced nobody could find you attractive anymore. That belief is destroying your chances before you even start. Here's what actually happens in senior dating that will shock you. When researchers surveyed people over 60 about what makes someone attractive, physical appearance ranked fifth. What came first? Confidence, sense of humor, kindness, and the ability to hold interesting conversations. Your perceived flaws matter far less than you think. The confidence problem isn't really about your body. It's about the story you're telling yourself about your body. A 62-year-old woman named Sylvia refused to date for 5 years because she'd gained weight after menopause. When she finally joined a senior singles group, 3 men expressed interest within the first month. None of them mentioned her weight. One told her he was drawn to how passionately she spoke about her garden. Your attractiveness lives in how you show up, not how you look. But let's get practical about rebuilding that confidence. Start with what you can control right now. Posture makes an immediate difference. Slouching signals defeat and insecurity. Standing tall, shoulders back, communicates self-respect regardless of your size or shape. Practice walking into rooms like you belong there because you do. Grooming matters more than genetics. A well-maintained appearance signals that you value yourself. This doesn't mean expensive makeovers or anti-aging treatments. It means clean, pressed clothes that fit properly. Regular haircuts, trimmed nails, basic dental care. These fundamentals communicate self-respect, and self-respect is magnetic. Here's the secret weapon nobody talks about. Pursue something that excites you. People are attracted to passion and enthusiasm. When you're genuinely engaged in activities you love, whether it's painting, woodworking, or ballroom dancing, you radiate an energy that transcends physical appearance. A 69-year-old man started taking Italian cooking classes after his wife passed. He wasn't trying to meet anyone, he just loved cooking. 2 women in his class developed interest in him because his passion for food was contagious. Guide 4. Navigating physical intimacy with aging bodies. This is the conversation most seniors avoid until they're already in an awkward situation. Let's talk honestly about physical intimacy when bodies don't cooperate the way they used to. First, understand this fundamental shift. Intimacy after 60 is less about performance and more about connection. The pressure to perform like you did at 30 creates anxiety that kills the very thing you're trying to create. Younger intimacy often focuses on the destination. Mature intimacy celebrates the entire journey, and that's actually an advantage you didn't have decades ago. Medical realities matter. and pretending they don't causes unnecessary frustration. Erectile dysfunction affects nearly 50% of men over 60. Vaginal dryness affects most women after menopause. Joint pain, reduced flexibility, medication side effects, these are facts, not failures. The couples who thrive are the ones who talk about these issues before clothes come off, not during. Have the conversation early and plainly. If you're dating someone seriously, say something like, "I want to be honest about some physical changes I've experienced. My body works differently now, and I'd like us to figure this out together without embarrassment." This vulnerability builds trust faster than months of small talk ever could. Practical solutions exist for almost every challenge. Water-based lubricants address dryness. Medications help with erectile issues when appropriate. Supportive pillows accommodate joint problems. Adjusting positions to reduce physical strain isn't admitting defeat, it's being smart. A 66-year-old couple discovered that shower intimacy solved multiple issues simultaneously. Warmth helped arthritis pain, water provided natural lubrication, and grab bars offered stability. But here's what transforms everything. Expand your definition of intimacy beyond intercourse. Holding hands while watching sunset. Long unhurried massages. Dancing slowly in the kitchen. Extended kissing without expectation of more. These create profound connection without physical demands. Many seniors report that their intimate lives became richer after they stopped fixating on traditional intercourse and started exploring broader expressions of affection. Timing matters more now than it used to. Morning intimacy often works better than evening because energy levels are higher and medications haven't fully kicked in yet. Understanding your body's rhythms and planning accordingly removes pressure and increases satisfaction. The psychological component is equally important. Decades of conditioning about what intimacy should look like creates mental blocks. Let go of the script. A 63-year-old widower felt inadequate until his new partner told him, "I don't need what you gave someone else 30 years ago. I want what you can give me right now, whatever that looks like." That permission to be imperfect changed everything. The ultimate truth. Physical limitations don't end intimacy. Shame and silence do. The couples who maintain vibrant, intimate lives after 60 share one trait. They communicate without embarrassment about what works, what doesn't, and what they want to try. Guide 5. Communication differences from your younger years. The way you communicated in relationships at 25 won't work at 65. And that's actually excellent news. You've spent decades learning what matters and what doesn't. The question is whether you're using that wisdom or repeating old patterns. The biggest shift. You no longer have time for games. In your younger years, you might have waited 3 days to return a call to seem less desperate, or hinted at what you wanted instead of saying it directly. At this stage, that nonsense is exhausting and pointless. If you're interested in someone, tell them. If something bothers you, address it. If you need space, say so. This directness isn't rude. It's respectful of everyone's limited time. But directness without wisdom becomes bluntness that hurts people. Here's the refinement that comes with age. You can be honest and kind simultaneously. Instead of saying, "You talk too much about your grandchildren," try, "I love hearing about your family, and I'd also enjoy learning more about your own interests and dreams." Same message, completely different impact. Life experience taught you that disagreements don't equal disasters. In younger relationships, arguments often felt like relationship-ending events. Now you understand that two people can see things differently and both be right. A 71-year-old man named Russell says the best relationship advice he ever received was, "You can be right or you can be happy. Choose wisely." After 2 divorces, he finally learned to ask himself whether winning an argument was worth creating distance with someone he cared about. Listening has transformed too. Younger you probably listened to respond, already formulating your reply while the other person was still talking. Older you has the patience to listen to understand. This subtle shift changes everything. When your partner feels genuinely heard, most conflicts dissolve before they escalate. Technology creates new communication dynamics that didn't exist in your earlier relationships. Text messages lack tone and context, leading to misunderstandings. A simple "okay" can seem cold or dismissive when you meant it neutrally. Phone calls allow for vocal warmth that texts can't capture. Video calls let you see facial expressions and body language. Choose your medium based on the message's importance. Difficult conversations deserve face-to-face time, not text exchanges. The most powerful communication tool you've gained with age. The ability to apologize authentically. Younger pride often prevented genuine apologies. Now you understand that "I'm sorry" isn't weakness, it's strength. But effective apologies have 3 parts. Acknowledge what you did wrong, explain why it was wrong, and state what you'll do differently. "I'm sorry you feel that way" isn't an apology, it's deflection. Financial discussions require new levels of transparency. Unlike dating in your 20s, you're both bringing established financial situations, possibly debts, assets, pensions, and inheritance considerations. Avoiding money talk because it feels unromantic creates disasters later. Adults discuss finances clearly and without shame. Guide 6. Dealing with adult children's reactions. Your adult children's opinions about your new relationship can create unexpected turmoil. They might be supportive, hostile, or somewhere in between. Understanding why they react the way they do helps you navigate this minefield without sacrificing your happiness or damaging family bonds. Let's start with the uncomfortable reality. Your children might never fully support your new relationship, and you need to be okay with that. Their resistance often has nothing to do with your new partner and everything to do with their own unresolved emotions. If you're widowed, they might feel like you're betraying their deceased parents' memory. If you're divorced, they might harbor loyalty conflicts or fear being forced to choose sides. Financial anxiety drives many negative reactions. Adult children worry about inheritance, especially if they're counting on it for their own retirement or their children's education. A new partner represents a potential threat to assets they've mentally earmarked as theirs. A 68-year-old woman named Constance faced fierce opposition from her son when she started dating 2 years after her husband died. The real issue surfaced months later. He'd borrowed money expecting to inherit the house to repay it. Here's your approach. Inform, don't ask permission. You're not a teenager seeking approval for prom dates. A respectful heads-up is appropriate. "I've been seeing someone and it's becoming serious. I wanted you to hear it from me." That's courtesy, not consultation. What you don't say. "Is it okay if I start dating?" You're an autonomous adult. Like 1. Set boundaries early about unsolicited advice and judgment. If your daughter makes snide comments about your new partner, address it immediately. "I understand this is an adjustment, but disrespectful comments aren't acceptable. You don't have to love my choice, but you do need to treat me with respect." Letting small digs slide teaches them that boundary violations are tolerated. When you do introduce your partner, keep initial meetings brief and low stakes. Coffee or lunch works better than holiday gatherings where everyone's trapped together for hours. Brief encounters allow positive impressions to form without the pressure of extended interaction. Let relationships build gradually rather than forcing instant closeness. Acknowledge their feelings without letting those feelings dictate your choices. "I understand this feels strange and maybe even painful. Your feelings are valid, and I'm not asking you to pretend otherwise. But I'm also not willing to spend the rest of my life alone to avoid your discomfort." This validates their emotions while maintaining your autonomy. Blended family complications require careful navigation. If your new partner has children or grandchildren, competing family dynamics emerge quickly. Holiday scheduling, gift-giving expectations, and grandparent time become negotiation points. Establish clear expectations. We're both maintaining relationships with our own families while building something new together. Nobody's being replaced or diminished. The hardest scenario. When your children are right about red flags you're ignoring. A 64-year-old man's daughters warned him about his new girlfriend's suspicious financial requests. He dismissed their concerns as meddling until she disappeared with $40,000. Pride prevented him from hearing legitimate warnings. Stay open to genuine concerns, even while maintaining boundaries against controlling behavior. Guide 7. Financial and living arrangement conversations. Money and living arrangements destroy more senior relationships than incompatibility ever could. The couples who thrive are the ones who have difficult conversations early, not after they've already moved in together or merged bank accounts. Start with complete financial transparency before the relationship gets serious. This means disclosing income sources, debts, credit scores, and spending habits. Yes, it feels unromantic. Yes, it's absolutely necessary. A 70-year-old retiree named Vernon discovered 6 months into living with his partner that she had $80,000 in credit card debt she'd hidden. The relationship ended not because of the debt, but because of the dishonesty. Retirement income varies wildly between individuals. One person might have a comfortable pension and Social Security, while the other relies solely on modest Social Security checks. These gaps create tension around lifestyle expectations. Can you afford to travel? Eat out regularly? Upgrade your living situation? Mismatched financial realities need addressing before resentment builds. Discuss who pays for what, and whether you'll split expenses equally or proportionally based on income. Living arrangements present unique challenges at this age. You've both likely spent years creating homes that reflect your tastes and needs. Combining households means someone's giving up their space, their neighborhood, their proximity to familiar doctors and friends. Don't rush this decision. Some couples maintain separate residences successfully, spending nights together but keeping their own spaces. This isn't lack of commitment, it's honoring independence. If you do decide to live together, whose place makes practical sense? Consider proximity to healthcare providers, family members, and community connections. A 73-year-old woman moved into her partner's home only to realize she'd left behind her entire support network. The isolation destroyed the relationship within a year. Geography matters more at this age than it did when you were younger and more mobile. Ownership versus cohabitation creates legal complexities. If one person owns their home and the other moves in, what financial contribution is fair? Should rent be paid? Should the non-owner contribute to maintenance and improvements they'll never have equity in? These questions feel transactional and uncomfortable, but ignoring them leads to explosive arguments later. Medical directives and power of attorney decisions become critical. If you become incapacitated, who makes medical decisions? Many seniors automatically list their adult children, but a live-in partner might be more appropriate. This isn't about excluding family, it's about designating who knows your wishes best and will honor them. Social Security and pension implications need understanding. If you're receiving survivor benefits from a deceased spouse, remarriage before age 60 terminates those benefits. For some seniors, this financial reality means choosing long-term partnerships without legal marriage. It's not romantic, but it's financially prudent. Healthcare costs loom larger at this age. Medicare doesn't cover everything, and supplemental insurance varies in quality and cost. If one partner has significant health issues requiring expensive care or medications, how does that impact shared finances? A 69-year-old woman hesitated to move in with her partner because his diabetes complications required costly treatments her fixed income couldn't absorb. The practical reality: you're building a partnership for your final decades, not launching a lifetime together. This changes priorities. You're not saving for children's college or building long-term wealth. You're managing fixed incomes and ensuring comfortable, secure final years. Frame conversations around these realities rather than pretending you're 30-year-olds planning a future. Guide 8. Red flags specific to senior dating. Senior dating comes with unique vulnerabilities that younger daters don't face. Loneliness, accumulated wealth, and sometimes cognitive decline make this demographic prime targets for exploitation. Knowing the warning signs protects you from financial devastation and emotional trauma. The romance scam epidemic specifically targets seniors. Someone shows intense interest quickly, professes love within weeks, then creates emergencies requiring money. Their mother needs surgery. Their business deal fell through. They're stuck overseas and need funds for a plane ticket home. A 72-year-old retired nurse named Phyllis lost $120,000 to someone she never met in person who claimed to be a deployed soldier. The emotions felt real even though the person wasn't. Watch for anyone who avoids meeting in person despite living locally. Endless excuses about busy schedules, family obligations, or work commitments signal something's wrong. Legitimate interest includes wanting face-to-face contact. Someone who's been chatting online for months but refuses coffee dates isn't building a real relationship. Financial requests of any kind within the first 6 months are automatic disqualifiers. Period. No loans, no co-signing, no joint accounts, no access to your credit cards. Regardless of their story or how genuine the need seems, anyone asking for money early is showing you exactly who they are. A legitimate partner would be mortified to ask for financial help from someone they barely know. Inconsistent stories reveal dishonesty. Pay attention when details don't match previous conversations. Where did they say they worked last week versus this week? How many children do they have? If basic facts keep shifting, you're being lied to. Trust your memory, and when something feels off, it usually is. Isolation tactics are predatory behaviors. If your new partner criticizes your friends, discourages family contact, or creates drama whenever you spend time with others, they're systematically cutting off your support system. This makes you dependent and easier to control or exploit. A 67-year-old widower gradually lost contact with his poker group, church community, and even his sister because his girlfriend manufactured conflicts with all of them. By the time he recognized the pattern, he'd been isolated for over a year. Excessive flattery and love bombing feel wonderful but often mask manipulation. Overwhelming compliments, constant texts declaring devotion, and premature intensity create artificial intimacy. They're manufacturing emotional dependence before you've had time to evaluate their character objectively. Real affection builds steadily, not explosively. Secrecy about their own life while demanding access to yours signals imbalance. They won't introduce you to their family or friends, won't give you their home address, but expect complete transparency from you about your finances, schedule, and relationships. This double standard isn't protecting privacy, it's hiding something. Substance abuse problems don't improve with age. If your new partner drinks excessively, uses drugs, or shows addictive behaviors with gambling or spending, those patterns are deeply entrenched. You cannot fix them, and trying will drain your resources and energy. Cognitive red flags require delicate handling. Sometimes unusual behavior isn't manipulation but early dementia or cognitive decline. Repeated questions, confusion about recent conversations, or impulsive decisions might indicate medical issues rather than character flaws. This doesn't make them safe partners. It means they need medical evaluation and potentially aren't capable of informed consent in relationships. Trust your gut instinct above politeness. If something feels wrong, honor that feeling even if you can't articulate exactly why. Your intuition has decades of experience reading people. Don't override it because you're lonely or because someone seems nice on the surface. You've just learned what most seniors never discover. Finding love after 60 isn't about recapturing youth. It's about leveraging the wisdom, authenticity, and emotional depth you've earned through decades of living. The fairy tale ending isn't meeting someone perfect. It's meeting someone real and building something meaningful with eyes wide open. You now understand that emotional readiness comes first, that modern venues offer genuine opportunities, that confidence matters more than appearance, that intimacy evolves beautifully when you communicate honestly, that family dynamics require boundaries not permission, that practical conversations protect everyone involved, and that vigilance keeps you safe from exploitation. Thousands of seniors are experiencing profound connections right now, not despite their age, but because of it. The only question left is whether you'll join them or let fear keep you on the sidelines. Your chapter isn't over. It's just beginning. If this video opened your eyes to what's actually possible in senior relationships, show your support by hitting that like button right now. Share this with someone who needs to hear that their romantic life isn't over. It's just getting started with better tools and deeper wisdom. Subscribe to this channel because we're creating content specifically for seniors navigating life's biggest transitions with honesty and practical advice. Coming up next, we're tackling something equally important: how to rebuild your social circle after loss, retirement, or relocation when making new friends feels impossible. The strategies we reveal will surprise you. Don't miss it. Your next great chapter is waiting, and we're here to guide you through every step.